Now I'm going to show you how to use the rectangle wraps. Now don't forget you get these in 6 different sizes, and you also get the mat and layering as well. They're multi-purpose, multi-sized, multifunctional. There's all sorts of things you can do with them. And if you have a look at all the other wrap sets that we've got hearts, we've got diamonds, etc, 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 loads of different ones. With each of those, there's lots of different videos and dems and showing you how to use them. Everyone's slightly different, so there's lots and lots of different ways of using these wraps. You're not tied down to just doing one size. You've got all the different sizes, you've got the different connotations. You can just do a strip, you can do edge them like a frame around the edge. If you look at the oval one, that shows you how to do that, but I'm sure you'll come up with lots of ways of doing it. Now, what I'm going to do, this bit of video is for the sets and also for the project. I'm going to show you the sets. If you want to go for just the sets, that's fine. If you want to go for just the project, that's also fine. So if you think of this in 2 different stages, here is the complete set of the rectangle. God, you can tell I've done a lot of these shows, can't you? Right, basically what you're getting. So there you go, there is your main design. That's the large design. If you've got a straight line here, that's where the card would be. So imagine that's your A5 card. It fits perfectly on there, and that line shows you the middle. This gives it straight the way along there. If you want to do a rectangle portrait, if you want to do a landscape horizontal, well, you can do it that way as well if you want to. There's no reason why the wrap can't go from top to bottom. And in every set, you're also going to get the extension sets as well. It's an extra bonus set. So if you've got a card that's 12 inches high, 24 inches high, you can use the extension bits so you can make the wrap as long or as tall as you want. So you've got that one can be used as portrait or landscape. Then you've also got this one, which is tilt. So imagine that straight on. Let's leave that there. There's your main line, shows you the center, and you can see this one is on a jaunty angle. So you can either have it that way or go in that way as well. So sometimes you want a wrap or a design just to be on a bit of a jaunty angle, just to give you that, you've got point to point. The other one was from flat to flat. This one here is, there you go, and you've got the portrait, the landscape on a jaunty angle too, so that would wrap around, but you've got the main rectangle as a landscape, and you can also use it as a portrait like that if you really want to. So you've got that on a bit of a jaunty angle, but portrait. And you've also got this one too, where you've got the landscape, but it's a wrap round and it's like straight on, it's not on a jaunty angle. So those are your basic designs that you're getting, but you're getting them in 6 different sizes. And if I just go through these very quickly, you can get an example of what you're going to get. You're also going to get the mat and layer sheets. Now you can print these onto card, onto paper, onto acetate, and my advice is just print them out as and when you need them. You've got going all the way through. I'm going to skip through some of these so you can see how small you can go. You're getting smaller and smaller. And if you want to make some little dinky cards, you can. There's no reason why you can't do that. Right down to the little ones here, as you can see. So you're getting all those different sizes, and you're getting the full set you can download and use as and when. And don't think you've got to print the whole thing off in one go. Just print them as you need them. If you damage your template, it doesn't matter. Just print another one off. Print it onto paper, onto card, onto acetate. And then when you've got them, all you've got to do, you can see I use them myself, so these are all well used here. I have a piece of paper and you can see where they've got little bits of masking tape on. I leave the masking tape on and then just cut these out. There's a small one in the center, then there's the next one up, right up to the biggest ones, and there you've got the mat and layers as well. So you can decide you could have a wrap, and then you could have a mat and layer, then you could have a wrap and a mat and layer, and a mat and layer. It's entirely up to you. And so if you look at the other demonstrations, then you can see lots of other ideas of ways of using these. So if you've got, say, that one, there's lots of, say there's a design there. You can cut that wrap out like that, but you might want to cut 1, 2, 3 bars like that, and that, and then do the same on that. So you've got like a frame. So you've got a top and a bottom, and the rest is kind of to mount up onto the top. Have a look at the demos, you'll understand what I mean. Right, what I've got here is just an ordinary A5 card. I'm doing it all A5, so it's easier for you to see what I'm doing, but don't forget you can make it as a C6. You can do any size you want, which is fantastic. Now, if you're going for the, what's it called? Come back to me, Chuck. If you're going for the project, that's the word I'm looking for. I knew there was a P in it somewhere. Oh, that reminds me, I've not been for about 3 hours. The slave driver Lily over there. Never mind cackling over there like one of the Scottish plays witches. In fact, you can play all 3 parts on your own, you. Ka-ching. Anyway, you get all the bits from now on is a separate project, but you download all the bits that we've got and you can make precisely this card. So if you like this card, I'd love to make that. You can download it in minutes. You could be making this card in half an hour's time. Isn't that fantastic? Brilliant. Well, you get one of these sheets. Now, these designs are actually based on Dot's Heirlooms, which are embroidery that my mum did. Yes, my mum. Oh, sorry, my mum. I'm not that posh. My mum, not my mum. You get an A4 sheet here, and you can see the anemones on this one. And what I've done is I've cut a strip, and I'm going to stick that down the centre of the card. That just folds over there like that. I'm going to find the centre there and then stick it down. I've got some double-sided tape on the back there. I'm going to just strip that off there. And then I've got a nice little border to go around it. Now, just to give you a few tips when you're doing this, if you're using card like I'm using now, you don't want to do more than 2 or 3 layers because it gets too thick and bulky. If you want to do 6 layers, it's best to use paper because by the time you've laid it on top of each other, it's like card anyway. But I'm using card for this particular demonstration, and I've chosen some really nice gold cards. So what I've done is just put my template onto some nice gold card like this one is here, and then I've just drawn around it and cut it out, and that's ready to go on there. So what I'm going to do is tape this in position because I want it to be exactly where I want it to be, and I don't want it moving around. And I'm going to do these one at a time because if you've got too many layers of card, it can buckle up and look a bit funny. So I'm going to stick that one on first, and then I'm going to stick that over and stick it down. So that's in the position that I want it. Just mark it with an embossing pen either side. It just helps you fold it over, especially card, because you don't want it to look a bit like a dog's hind leg. That just helps you fold over there perfectly and simple, and that goes over there perfectly and simple. Now, I'm just going to hold that in position just for now because I've turned that back and you can see I've got that over the top there. Now I've got another one here. I've cut out another piece of beautiful card here and I'm going to stick this one down over the top. I've got some double-sided tape on the back there. Now if I position this properly without it sticking to the masking tape, that goes on there like that. Like so. Now I can just bend this one over. See how that looks beautiful on there. I'm just going to hold that down like that, and then I'm going to bend that over gently and just stick it down. Bend that over gently and stick that down again. So you've got that lovely band going around the edge. Now I've done that wrong. I would have made sure I went the right way. That one should have gone underneath and then it would have looked neater. Let's see if I can undo that and just show you. The way you should do it is that way and that way, then it's much neater. See that? Did we understand that? No, did we heck? Right, what I'm going to do is put a little bit of glue on it. A little bit of glue and stick it down. It's not going to stick, is it? But it should do. Right, that's going to stick there. Now what I've also got when I'm holding this down is I've taken one of the little flowers that I'm going to use on the front. See that little flower? Hello? Where are you going? What was that? Somebody's not paying attention. That's just going to stick down over there, bit of double-sided tape, and that just finishes it off nicely. It's simple, and you've got that lovely effect. So this time I'm using card. You could use another layer, but I find after 3 layers it gets a little bit bulky. So that's stuck down on the front now, and I've got the paper underneath. I've got the card on the top of it there like that, and there it is ready to decorate. Now, I've already got the bits and pieces already cut out here. These you can download as well, and I've got foam pad on the back of those. I'm going to start off with this one here. It's the same designs that are on the backing paper. So I'm going to move that out of the way so it looks a bit posher. Oh, I do like it a bit posher. There you go. So I'm going to stick this one down here first. just a little bit of glue, and that's going to stick down on top of the wrap, and that's going to go there like so. There you go, there's the first, I mean, you can just leave it like that, and your wrap does go up and down. If it wasn't glued, it would be anyway. Oh, come on, for Daddy. I've stuck it there. Yeah, there you go. Don't do it as tight as I've done it. There you go, it does move up and down with a little bit of shoving. Just give it a little bit of, loosen it up a little bit so you can decide exactly where that's going to go. I think I'm quite happy with it there. And then I've got all my little bits and pieces, You can stop giggling, cheeky. That's going to go over the top there. So I'm matte and layering this up. Well, I'm decoupaging it up, aren't I? And then that one's going to go over the top of that one. Each time getting a little bit smaller. You can see that's got 3 layers on now, but if you can see, how can I hold that up? So you can see you've got the 3 layers there. And then I'm going to stick the next one on. Let me just put the lid on my glue first. I don't want that drying out. And then that one can go on top of that one. And then this one can go on top of this one here. And then I've got an extra one. Now I'm going to slide that up slightly. I've got an extra one here that I'm going to pop down at the bottom. And I've just got a little bit, just an extra little leaf that's going to pop out there. Now that, if it was a little bit slacker, would also stop it sliding down. It would just catch underneath there. So there you go. Another way of making these beautiful wraps. This time it's using card. So what you're going to get the 6 sizes, and you've got all the different connotations you can do with that. You're also getting the 6 sizes of the mat and layers. You make a beautiful card like this one, or you can do whatever you want. Once you've got the templates, you can do literally what you want. But if you want to do the project, just download the project. If you want just the templates, download just the template.